it's Daniela Pereira from Moody Seagull. In this vlog, I'm going to talk about some of the labels used on watercolour tubes and how to make sense of them. I'll be taking Winsor Newton tubes as my example. Series number. Watercolour tubes are grouped into series based on price. So for example, series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, series 1 will be the cheapest and series 5 will be the most expensive. Something to bear in mind is the higher cost doesn't mean better paint, and it's more to do with the cost of manufacture. Pigment number. On the watercolour tube, you will see a pigment number, and this tells you what pigment or pigments are in the paint. P stands for pigment, and it can be followed by letters such as Y for yellow, O for orange, and R for red. This is useful because you can look for a pigment number rather than relying on the paint name, which can really vary between the brands and is also sometimes very elaborate too. Where possible, it's recommended to buy paint with a single pigment in it because when you mix lots of pigments together, there is risk of getting muddy colours. Lightfastness and permanence. Lightfastness refers to how stable the paint is under sunlight, and this is important if you intend to sell your paintings or keep them for a very long time. Permanence measures lightfastness, but also the chemical stability of the paint. For Winsor Newton, they show lightfastness graded as Roman numerals, with 1 being the best. For permanence, the highest level would be AA. Artist grade paint versus student grade paint. Now, artist grade paint is better quality than student grade paint. The way that you can identify artist grade paint is somewhere on the tube it will say professional or artist color, whereas with the student grade paint there'll be some kind of trade name. So for Winsor & Newton it's the Cotman watercolor range. Hue. If your paint name contains the word hue, so for example cobalt blue hue, then this paint does not contain the true cobalt blue pigment, which is PB28, but instead it has a mixture of pigments which produce a colour similar to cobalt blue. This is often done to help keep costs down. In summary, I would highly recommend researching the brand of paint you'd like to buy before going into the shops. The terminology that I've covered here is the same for all brands, but it's the scale and symbols that differ between the brands that you need to be aware of. So I hope that's been helpful, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.